Hello Scorpio, Elsie here to do a reading. I'm back, this time with the weeklies. How you doing? Are you losing track yet? I keep bouncing back and forth between the weeklies and the monthlies. So Scorpio, this is a reading for you. This is for the week ahead, Scorpio. You know, if you're my ride or die, that's how I read. Always for the week ahead, and whatever you get it, that's up to you, whether that's today, tomorrow, or next year. It could resonate then, by the way, because it is a general reading, and, well, you're not all at the precipice of this point that I'm reading from right now. So, thank you for showing up here, Scorpio, and let's get to it. Let's find out what's going on for you. Hang out here till the end of the video, and I will tell you how to find the extended if you're interested in going into the extended with us. Let's find out what's going on with you, Scorpio. Thanks for coming back if you are my ride or die, and if you're brand new, welcome. I hope you'll stay. There's a subscription button around here somewhere if you want to stay. Let's find out what's going on. Oh, and the intention of this reading is to find out what now is coming up for you in the new cycle, since we just had a new moon in Cancer. We had that on the 25th. So tell me what the new cycle is bringing for Scorpio, please. Scorpio, we have communication is the key. What else do we have here? Tell me more about communication. Now, it says new moon in Gemini. Now, look, Gemini is, in fact, a great communicator. However, a little bit harsh. Can be just the kind of person that really doesn't care how you feel about what they're saying, right? They see that as an issue, not an ish me, right? So it looks like there's going to be some communication coming up around something here. And I feel like with this, it does say full moon, right? No, new moon. It says new moon in Gemini. Of course, we just had the new moon in Cancer. But I feel like it's talking about something emotional, because this new moon in Cancer is about things that are deep, right? We're really looking at things that are connected to us deeply and emotionally. We've got pleasure. And so it does feel like you could probably use a walk in the woods. I'm going to say, Scorpio, you are kind of like a you and I are opposite. I'm a Taurus sun. If you're a Scorpio sun, that we are the opposites on the opposite ends of the astrological wheel. But one thing we do share is a love for being in the outdoors. So I feel like you're supposed to be, I feel like being in the outdoors, going for a walk, taking the path, whatever it is that you're going to do is probably a good idea before you communicate about whatever is coming up for communication in the week ahead. Let's talk more about Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We have guilt. So guilt says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So I feel like you have been made to feel guilty about not complying about what another person in your life wants from you. And so I feel like it's time for you to release that. Look, walking is good for that. I do about 30K a week. And walking is good for you. It's great for the mental health. It helps you sort things out, get to the bottom of things, slow things down a little bit. So I feel like you are trying to release something that has been making you feel guilty, but understand that I don't feel like it's you that's causing the guilt. I feel like there's somebody in your surroundings, in your life here, who doesn't like that you're not complying with whatever it is they want you to do. And so I feel like that's where the guilt comes from. It's a guilt trip. Somebody's trying to guilt you. You're being asked to release that. Bottom of the deck in the future energy, we have the answers you need are coming. And then it says full moon in Gemini. So look, we go from maybe saying a few things, watching our words, our P's and Q's, and making sure that we're not offending anybody, to the full-blown moon, the full moon, which is the release, right? This is the new cycle. This is the release. So as much as words can get you into the new cycle, they can actually get you out of one as well. They can release you from a cycle that's been hard for you. We've got enlightenment. So whatever's going to be said, I feel like is something that you didn't know. It feels like it's going to cause you to ascend or be in some type of an ascension here. There's an enlightenment. You're going to have some sort of enlightenment with the answers that you've been looking for. I feel like you'll be enlightened that the answers you need are coming. And then we have forgiveness. It says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So listen, when you have resentment for another, it doesn't just block you with that person. When you have resentment for another, the resentment is within you. So that means that there is a resentment block with every single person, place, thing, and situation that is in your life, because when the resentment, when you carry it around, you're going to be placing it onto all of those things, all of the relationships, all of the situations. All right, let's get some tarot. Let's find out what's going on here. Tell me more about Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio. We've got Strength, got the Eight of Cups, and we've got the Chariot. We've got the Four of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, Justice card. We've got the Nine of Swords, the Lovers, and the Seven of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have the Devil energy. It does feel like there's something going on that's causing some type of angst or tension in your life right now, and it does feel like it has to do with one of your relationships. It feels like a soulmate relationship to me, so it could be that this is a soulmate love, a soulmate friend. It could be a member of the family you feel very close to, but it does feel like there is sort of anxious feelings going on here about this connection. I think that there's somebody in your life, whoever this person is. They could be a Gemini, they don't have to be, but we have this guilt. I feel like this is the person who's been trying to make you feel some kind of way about not complying with whatever it is that they want you to do. So we do have communication is key. I feel like this has been, I feel like communicating clearly, letting people know how you feel and saying what you mean and meaning what you say. I feel this is some sort of a fear that you must confront. It feels like with the Strength card here that you need to find the courage to confront whatever you have fear about. I think your fear, your biggest fear, Scorpio, is that if you do say something, and look, I never met a Scorpio who wasn't scared to speak out loud, but I think you're being careful because this is a special relationship, however it's connected to you, and it feels like you feel if you do confront the person or confront the fear, that this person could possibly walk away, or maybe you might come off as a little bit aloof or detached, or that maybe you'll say something quickly that will get things out of balance and something will come up from the depths of who you are, and all of a sudden, before you know it, we're releasing things or things are over. It does feel like you are in some sort of a comfort zone at this time, and you are taking your time making a decision, trying to figure out how you are going to balance things, finding out how we're going to bring everything back into balance, how we're going to restore what we had. It does feel like does feel like it's a relationship related thing. And like I said, not all these readings are always to do with love, but maybe from your perspective or point of view, it might be a love relationship. It does feel like, I feel like you're treading carefully, I want to say. And it's only because this is a person that you really have a lot of love for. I feel like you're being very careful. You're not exactly in this Gemini energy just yet. I would say you're more in this pentacle-like, water-like energy. And so I feel like you do have to face a fear here, though. It does feel like you have to face the fear of that if you do say something, that this person could quite possibly walk away. And I feel like this person is somebody who is, I don't know if there's an attachment between you that is codependent. Maybe they are used to getting their way with you. Maybe you have grown and you're not necessarily giving people their way, that you're doing the right thing, being courageous. And maybe the Eight Cups is you. Maybe you're saying, look, if you won't allow me to speak with you and face my fears, then maybe I'll be the one that disconnects from you. But I think that there has been a disconnection in general. It does feel like there's been a disconnection. Tell me about the Eight of Cups, please. Tell me about the Eight of Cups for Scorpio. We have the Queen of Cups. So I feel like this and the Ace of Pentacles, it does feel like you want to be kind with your words, because what you're trying not to do is to bring something to a complete and total end. Although you know that what's required is transformation, something here has to change, because somebody here is putting you on the outside looking in. They're making you feel guilty, and you feel as though you can't speak your mind for fear of them leaving, or for fear of them just walking away and never coming back. Some type of transformation is coming, and I feel that it will be valuable. Now, I say that with an inflection in my voice because I feel like the transformation is always valuable, but sometimes it doesn't exactly work out the way that we want it to. So death, we know, is a transformation, but it also means that one thing has to end before something new can arrive. And so I feel like this Ace of Pentacles tells me that this is a valuable transformation, and you will learn a lot from it. It will, in fact, open a new cycle for you. But I feel like you are not wanting to say anything, not finding the courage to say anything, because you don't want somebody to leave. The Eight of Cups and the Chariot energy tells me that you feel like this person is hiding some kind of feeling under the surface that they're not bringing to the surface. And when they do, it might, you got the white horse and the dark horse, right? It might be a clash of our ideas. It might be a clash of our emotions. All right, tell me what the plan is here. I feel like you're going to go out walking or be in nature, or it feels like you need to get back to nature or ground yourself. I'm going to say in order to be able to find an answer. Tell me what this Knight of Pentacles is, because it feels like you're like in this sort of evaluation process here of what do I say in order to bring things into balance. I know I have to use my Queen of Cups energy, your water energy. You have to use the softness, the softer side, the more feminine side of you in order to say what you're going to say. I feel right now you feel a little bit trapped, that maybe you're in a comfort zone. And what I mean by that is maybe you and this person are talking to each other, but you're not really talking about the issues that are underneath the surface. Cancer energy, right? Underneath the surface. You're not really talking about the things that really need to be spoken about. So I feel like you are trying to find your way, or trying to find a plan, make a plan with a goal and all the steps in between to make things right or to bring things back into balance. Tell me why the Knight of Pentacles is here. I'm going to say take your time. The Knight of Pentacles does take their time. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Star. And we have the Ace of Cups. You know what I really feel like here, Scorpio? I feel like whoever you're dealing with really has to heal the inner child. I feel like the person that you're speaking with, they could be a fire sign. They don't have to be. But I feel like this person is somebody who communicates sharply, like they lash out. Like it feels like this is somebody who really needs to heal the inner child. The Star energy is here with the Page of Wands. And so I feel that while you are patient and you are trying to make your point in a very slow and practical way, I feel like the person that you'll be engaging with is somebody who not only has still this gaping wound from childhood issues and hurts, but I feel like this person is somebody that you might be in love with, or that you're hoping to hold on to this relationship if it's platonic love or romantic love. It feels like the Knight of Pentacles tells me that you're really going to try and be careful about what you say and how you say it, because you don't want this person to leave, because I feel like there is a real bond between you here, right? This is the Lover's energy. It feels like there's a real bond with you two here. Tell me what this bond is, please. And it feels like you're worried that this bond, that somebody will become so caught up behind their boundaries, it'll put their boundaries up, and then you'll never make communication with them. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. So this is a committed relationship. This is something that you've committed to. So this could be a marriage, or maybe you're living together, but this is maybe you're engaged, but this could also be a committed friendship, somebody that you've known since the beginning of time, essentially. So I feel with the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands, it feels as though that there's still a lot of, if it's romantic, a lot of passion and attraction here. It feels like we're usually pretty it feels like you've grown a lot with this person, so it makes me feel like you've known them for a while. The Eight of Pentacles telling me that you've put a lot of hard work into this relationship, and the Nine of Pentacles tells me I feel like you're going to say something in the week ahead. I feel like you're going to stand your ground with the Seven of Wands. I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is telling me that I'm confident enough to stand my ground and speak to this person, and I really feel like it's a fire sign likely that you're dealing with, or any sign that who is very fiery and who will, I would say, and this isn't to say anything disparaging about the fire signs, but sometimes they can act before they really think it out, whereas the earth signs will really think it out before they act. And so I feel like you're acting like an earth sign and they're acting like a fire sign. You may have earth in the chart, they could have fire, but it feels like here that this is a long time. It feels like we've been together for quite some time with the Eight of Pentacles here, and that you're willing to work on it. I feel like what you want is to bring everything back into balance. There has to be some enlightenment. I'm just going to say it can't be a one-sided thing, right? And so it feels like you do want forgiveness, or you either want to give it or you want to get it. But either way, I think somebody's blaming the other. And the one who's in blame is the one who does not have the enlightenment. So the one who is blaming the other person, because we should be able as adults to fix those things within ourselves without having to blame another. It says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. So maybe in the forgiveness, there will be acceptance. The acceptance is, I was blaming you and I shouldn't have been blaming you. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So I feel like that there is some type of resentment going on here, and it feels like whatever the relationship is, that you want to resolve it because the Death card is here, but you're scared that the other person is going to walk away. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to find out about this Devil energy here. It feels like there is somebody here who is very much in their ego, but yet this person, I feel that they're hiding behind it. Like it feels like the ego is the mask. Like when we all have an ego. Every single one of us has an ego, but when you get to know your ego, it can ride shotgun with you, right? You can kind of bring the ego out when you need it, when you're afraid, or when you need to do something that's scary, and then put it back in its seat, in its place. But I feel like there's somebody here who doesn't realize that they're very much in their ego, and it's become toxic. So we're going to talk about that as well. You really need to make a decision, Scorpio, about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. We're going to talk about that. The Death card, there's a valuable change coming here, but I don't know what that change is going to be. We're going to clarify that and find out something here is about to happen quickly. It could be balance, but it also could be that something ends. It feels like here that somebody, you're worried that somebody here is going to build a boundary with you and never want to speak about the things we need to speak about. But I feel like also you need to stand up and say something. But I think the worry is that this person might leave. So we'll talk about that. We'll get a little bit of an outcome. If you would like to come to the extension, that's where I'm going to clarify all of this. If you'd like to come to the extension, Scorpio, please look at at the top of the comments. There's a pinned comment up there that will give you a link to the membership area. That's where all the extensions are. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, the links for Hypsee are there. I'm doing live readings, I'm doing pre-recorded readings, and I've just recently put in a 24-hour turnaround package. If you're interested in one question with very little backstory, I can get it back to you in 48 hours. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you, and I'll see you if you come into the extension. If this is where we end, then that's okay, because I'll be back over the weekend for your 6-month read, Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'll be back as I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.